All right, ARCA at Charlotte. New setup, I think. It hasn't been confirmed, but this is the new setup title, so I assume this is the setup we're using. I'm going to go 16 to 1, 0 on the offset. It starts at 10 to 1 and plus 15, and then for every click up I go in steering ratio, I go down 3 clicks on the offset. This lands of me around this area. Then brake bias, like that 57, 58 kind of mark. It's close enough. Okay. So I'm not feeling the looseness that we were feeling at Texas. It kind of feels similar to first season Charlotte to me, even on this new updated track. So I'm going to be driving it more or less the same. I tried to drive it more like how I would intuitively drive it, and it was not going too well. What I'm liking here is the straight line exits. Try to set up that really early throttle and then use the wheel. Probably going to be second lap, but if I can carry some speed into first lap, I'll try. So I like arcing the corner here. Get the car point early, a little brake tap to get the nose pointed, then get the car down there, and then just keep it on the line as late in the corner as possible. A little slow there because we're on the first lap. Should be second lap. I'm going to try to set up for a run up here. Just start up by the wall, get the car point early, and then throttle early. Try to get the car pointed downward here. Should have a very good run off the corner like that. Notice how that's not even that much slower. But we have a good run here. Start wide. Early throttle, get the car, hook it on the paint. Same thing here, but we want to hook it on the paint even more. Right? Like that. Because see how close we're going to still get to the wall even though we hooked the paint that much. So hooking the paint's very important there. Cool. And the time there might be off compared to what the session actually is. I just made it realistic weather based off of what was on the physical schedule, but I couldn't make it off the actual schedule because it's not the new week yet. But it should just be the same regardless of what the track temp is. For reference, 79 track temp. So if it's like a 70 track temp, expect a couple tenths faster than this. Any hotter and you might be slower. So run up to the lap. Start by the wall. Little tap of the brake, but I just want to get my car moving down the track. If it's wanting to slide up, it's not going to help me. So I just want the car moving down the track here. And even though I don't get all the way to the bottom, it still carries a lot of speed, and I'm going to be fine because the car is always moving down the track. So these arcs, I'm really liking for qualifying here. But it's still super important to get your nose pointed to the bottom early, even if you're doing the arc. One of the biggest issues that you'll have is if you don't turn early enough, then you won't be able to turn down to the bottom. So if you're making this arc and you're still not able to get down to the bottom without super slowing your car down, it's going to be because you're not turning in early enough. But other than that, it's very straightforward, right? We get off the gas and tap brake and then get back on. I probably could have been smoother off the gas here now that I'm thinking about it, but it didn't seem to do too much. I was a little bit tighter than I wanted to be, so maybe a smooth off throttle would have helped there, very marginally. So that's something to keep in mind as well. I approach 3 and 4 the same exact way because even though the corner exits wider in theory than turn 2, it doesn't really feel like it all the time. So I really need to get that car down on the line or else I won't be able to commit to the throttle that early. So slightly easier entry. Wait on the gas a little bit just so that we can be sure the car will stick to that line. If you don't stick to this line, you're in the wall. Alternatively, you can go for just a later apex where you give up a little bit of time not shortcutting the corner, and then you just apex later, and then you have that line off anyways. But with this car, with the 90-degree turn that we can do in this, that level of grip should be fine. You just need to make sure that you get it on the line because there's a little extra grip down there. All right. In terms of long run, I see it being about the same as last year. It all depends on what tire you're wearing more. I personally don't see the right rear ever wearing more here. I could be proven wrong, but this feels like a right front burning track. In which case, I like to run shallow entries until the grip level falls off, and then I go into a wider arc entry that for late apex type. I think some people are gonna get away with just running the bottom the whole time. I think that's gonna be the best, but it's hard for me to do. So just settle the car on the bottom with the brake. Just get the car on the line. We're just worried about scrubbing our tires on entry and then having our car push tight when we get back on throttle. If we can avoid those two things, then we're just completely fine. So right there, that's bad. You see how my car pushed tight under throttle? That tells me I need to wait a little bit longer before getting on the throttle. Notice how much slower I am than my best lap here. So you might have to push a little bit harder than this at the beginning of the run, just by widening out your corners and going for those straighter exits. And you can really push as long as you're not scrubbing. So like, if I go a little bit wider here,